coming together. This is not going to be a good video. Okay, I'll try and do my best to explain what I'm doing and why. Today, I'm going to be making something out of rocks. It's pretty simple, I think. I'm figuring it out as I'm doing it. We're going to need this guy, and some rhyolite. It's a first for me because it's actually something I can use. So, fingers crossed. As usual. All right, let's go. Let's get the saw ready. I don't know how this is going to turn out. We'll see. I'm going to start with ones that I've already cut. So I basically want to get a nice flat side on them. I'm going to be cutting cubes, not making dice. Although you could make dice this way, I think. Already I've made a mistake. I need to make them bigger. Have a look. I ended up with way more wastage, and there's one cube. I'm gonna need to try and minimize the wastage. Chuck them in the bucket and attempt this one. Don't mess it up, Jess. I'm nervous. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Alright, so after a few attempts, I figured out what I had to do. I have to get a flat face to one side of the rock, so I can then use the fence on the tile saw to get the width of the cube. I then make another flat cut, that then runs along the fence, and once it's cut, you're able to then square it off, mark a line, and this is the tricky part, cut along the line. This is a tile saw, so it's not your most accurate of lapidary equipment. But check it out, like I got lucky with that cut. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with it. It worked. We got some cubes. I mean, what is that, a rhombus? Now I've got to make at least 5 more. They don't look as good because they're not wet, but I'm thinking I might try and get an agate or even just chalcedony. Let's go do that. What do you reckon, Gucci? Here's some big agate. Ooh, what a... No. I reckon. What? Why are you eating my sock? Gucci, no, Ta. This one, I'm leaving that on there because you know I love the rough. Now we're gonna have a look at them after they're polished and before we do what we're gonna do with them. I'm gonna get the rounded edges a little bit on these, prep them all for polishing as much as I can, and we'll get on to polishing. All right. Yeah. During the polishing process, I came across 2 rocks that I just couldn't polish. So I've decided not to use those cubes, but what I'm using to polish the rest of them is my trusty rotary sander polisher with the diamond polishing pads. I timed this process, and for the 4 rocks, it ended up taking me about 3 hours and 15 minutes, so not too bad. All right, they're pretty. Oh, they sound so good too. They're cut and polished into cubes. This is one of my favorites. There's so much going on in it. The rhyolite banding, there's crystal pockets. This looks like basalt as well in the rhyolite. Just beautiful. That's up to 3000 grit, and it's not gonna be as well polished as chalcedony, but that won't matter because what I'm using them for is something that will make them look pretty anyway, because rocks are always prettier when they're wet. I also realized that when I was doing this, I didn't need to make cubes. So I'm going to be using some of my tumbled stones as well. Let's put these through their final process. This has been a project I've been looking forward to making for a long time. What I'm making is Scotch Rocks. They're done. Oh, they're cold. Nice. So you may be asking why I've got the rocks in the esky. I'm heading to Benny's place because, well, I don't drink scotch. I know he does. Have you ever started something and thought, this is going to be the best idea ever? And then while doing it, you end up realizing it's not? This is one of those times. I mean, it could be cool, we'll see. I better put this down. Illegal. All right, over to Benny's place. We're here. Benny lives like one street over. Now, I'm going to put them into Benny's freezer for another hour to make sure that they're the right coldness, and then we'll be trying it out. Hey, Benoit. I'm filming it. How are you, man?
Good, man.
While we wait for these rocks to cool down in Benny's freezer, I do think it's a good time to talk about rock toxicity, how toxic a rock is. There are a lot of rocks that can be toxic through touch, through ingestion, through breathing in the dust that's created when they're cut and grinded. I found a really helpful webpage that has a table of different rocks and minerals, their level of toxicity and why. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below. Luckily for me though, these rocks have a low toxicity, and the reason for that is that when they're cut or grinded, the dust created when inhaled can create silicosis in the lungs. That's why I wear a dust mask while I'm cutting. For the purpose I'm using them in today, once they're polished, they're stabilized. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get our science on. So these are called Whisky Stones or Scotch Rocks. I don't drink Scotch, which I thought Benny did, but he doesn't.
I don't really, but I'll do an exception.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. How warm is that? 22.9?
23 almost, eh?
Yeah, and that's the 73.2 Fahrenheit.
That's awesome.
So now let's see what the rocks will do.
All right, here's the selection.
Right. Look at the frost on them.
Yeah. All right, do it again on them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you want. They're freezing. Okay, let's put them in.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, that's the hard thing though. Is you don't want to drop them in. Here, you go these ones.
How many do you want to put in?
Let's put them all, man.
That's rad.
Now let's see. I'll go the tumbled stones. Oh, let's do that one as well. Yeah. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
All right, put some more in there. Yeah, let's go. Let's go all the little ones as well.
All little ones.
Yeah.
That becomes a hazard when you drink it.
Oh yeah, true.
That looks cool.
It does look cool. Now, so the thing about these is that Scotch rocks are basically just granite. But these look so much prettier. And this is what I was talking about with them not needing to be completely polished, because they're gonna look pretty anyway. All right, so have a look. So that's on the rocks. So you need to get the liquid.
Yeah, I'm on the liquid.
Alright, so it's down, it's already dropping. Let's leave them in there for like a minute, see where it can take it.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool, hey?
I love it.
Oh, look at that. And the reason why they use rocks...
You can tell it's cooling down. Look at the glass.
That's sick. Now, the reason why they use these is so that it doesn't dilute the scotch for true Scotch drinkers.
True Scotch drinkers, just like us, yeah.
Yeah, just like us, Benny. All right, let's look at what the temperature. I'll make sure that I've got it in the water. It's pointing in the water. No, come on, I'm pointing away from it. 13? 13 degrees? What are the rocks now? Yeah, so it's about 54. So sciencey. All right, can we taste it?
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, no, I don't like it. Oh gosh, it makes me want to vomit. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, children. That was Scotch Rocks. Check out the other Makers Challenge, guys. There's 14 channels. They've done one video each, 2 channels a day for the last week. Head to this playlist right here. Oh, dude, I'm the biggest sook.